This is a binder full of dozens of my credit cards, but this little thing is my wallet, which has led a lot of you to wonder, with so many cards to choose from, what is actually in my wallet? Alright, I've got a lot of awesome products to share with you, including one card that isn't a card at all. But I have reviewed every single card that I'm going to talk about in today's video, so if you do want to learn more about any of these, I will leave links for those down below the like button. But like I said, this is my wallet, which just magnets to the back of my phone, and this carries just two of my most frequently used cards, as well as my driver's license. But I also carry a slim wallet like this one with 5 alternative cards that I also use on a fairly regular basis, starting with the SoFi credit card. You all know that I'm a bit of a SoFi fanboy, so I'll try to keep this one short, but this card gives me 2% flat cash back on all of my purchases and allows me to redeem those cashback points in a number of really unique ways. Truthfully, I don't use this product that often anymore because of the multi-card setup that I'll show you later in today's video, but for any of those random spending categories, it is nice to have a card that gives you a decent flat cash back on everything across the board, which is why I always keep my SoFi credit card with me. Also, right now they're offering up to a $250 cash bonus and 3% unlimited cash back for your first year, so again, link for that down below the like button. Next is the only debit card that I carry with me, and that is my Novo Business MasterCard. Again, I honestly don't use this one too often because I have a business credit card that I use for my business transactions, but there are some scenarios where I prefer to use my debit card for business, and because of that, I use this one if that's the case. I've been using Novo for my business bank account for this YouTube channel for several years at this point, and while there are other products like the Relay business account that have much more robust tools, for me and my small side hustle, this has everything that I need. Alright, those first two products were honestly not that exciting, and I don't use either of them that often. But the next card that stays in my backup wallet that I do use all the time is my Amazon Prime Visa Signature card. Now, I rarely use this physical card itself, which is why it's in the backup wallet, but this is actually one of my most used credit cards, and that's because it gives me 5% cash back on all Amazon purchases, and like many of you, I buy way too much stuff on Amazon. So while I honestly don't think I have ever physically swiped this card at a store because I have other cards that I prefer to use for those scenarios, if I am shopping online at Amazon.com, then this is always my default payment method, and with the amount of stuff that my wife and I buy on Amazon, we've racked up a pretty crazy amount of cash back with this product, and considering it is free as long as you are a Prime member, it's honestly a no-brainer that I'll probably keep in my wallet for a really long time. Alright, now we are getting into the really good stuff, starting with my American Express Business Gold Card. Now, this is not the true corporate version of the American Express Gold Card, because I personally don't want to pay the annual fee twice. So what I've actually done is set up my business, Magnified Money LLC, as an authorized user on my personal American Express Gold Card account. I'm definitely missing out on a few additional benefits that the true business version of this card offers, but that would cost me an additional $295 per year, which is just hard for me to justify, since for the most part, this is identical to the standard personal version, which is just $250 per year. But having a separate card allows me to keep my personal and business transactions separate, and the gold card gives me 4 points per dollar at restaurants worldwide and at US supermarkets, plus 3 points on flights booked with American Express and 1 point on everything else, not to mention several $100 in different credits. So for me, the $250 annual fee is really easy to justify, and my favorite benefit is definitely the 4 points on dining, which I use all the time. Alright, the last card in my backup wallet before we get to the two cards in my main wallet that I use most often is the Capital One Venture X card. Now, this is actually the biggest change from last year, since for the time being, I have swapped my Venture X card with a new credit card in my main wallet that I actually just got. But before we talk about that, with all of these different credit cards, you're probably wondering how in the world I keep track of them without carrying around that binder of cards and manually typing in numbers every time I want to buy something online. And that's actually where today's video sponsor, Sleek, can help. Sleek is a free Chrome extension that you can download in a matter of seconds, and once you input all of your payment and shipping details, Sleek is going to save all of that information, and the next time you go to check out, it's simply going to auto-populate that information and then navigate the checkout process for you without you having to do anything. And it's literally completely hands-off. Once you get to any checkout page like this one, you can just click Start Checkout, and then Sleek is going to automatically go through the different checkout menus, input your shipping and payment information, and after doing all of that in a matter of seconds, it'll let you double check all of that information, and all you have to do is then click Confirm Purchase, and you're done. There's no fumbling around with multiple credit cards or manually typing in 16-digit numbers every single time. It is literally 2 clicks and you are done checking out and can get on with your day. Plus, you can now get 2% cash back on top of all of your existing credit card rewards. So if you are a credit card nerd like myself, then this one is also a no-brainer. And again, Sleek is completely free. So I'll leave a link down below the like button where you can download the free Chrome extension and streamline your next checkout process today. Plus, you'll get $5 after you make your first purchase. Huge thank you to Sleek for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Now let's get back into my wallet. So even though it's in the backup wallet, I still use this Venture X card all the time, and if my main wallet could hold an extra card, this would definitely fill that slot. But for $395 per year, I get 10x miles on all hotel and rental cars booked with Capital One, 5 miles per dollar on flights, and 2 miles on all other purchases, plus airport lounge access, a 10,000 mile anniversary bonus, a $300 annual travel credit, a $100 credit towards TSA PreCheck or global entry, and the list goes on. And I've personally used that travel credit and the points from this credit card to stay in this hotel in Switzerland for completely free that I would never even dream of paying for out of pocket. So despite the high annual fee, it is really easy for me to justify, and I have found this to be a fantastic entry-level premium travel product that gives me things like airport lounge access without costing me $700 per year like the American Express Platinum card. So that's it for the backup wallet, and before we get into the 2 cards that are in my main wallet, I've got a bonus product for you that you've actually been looking at this entire video and didn't even realize it, and that is this. The Quantic Pay Ring. I did an entire video on this product, which I sometimes wear in place of my normal wedding band, and it is tied to my Quantic bank account and allows me to pay with a piece of jewelry anywhere that contactless payment is accepted. And not only is that super convenient, but it also is a fun party trick that I use way more often than I thought I would. Right now, this technology is only tied to a Quantic bank account, but I absolutely love the concept, so just a bonus product that I thought I would throw in here. All right, but moving on to my main wallet, which again, just magnets to the back of my phone. We've got my driver's license to start, but there's really nothing to talk about there. So the first card in this wallet is the regular personal version of the American Express Gold card. The benefits of this card are identical to the business one that I talked about earlier, since again, both of them are technically the personal version of this product, and I've just set up my business as an authorized user on my personal Gold card account. So nothing new to cover with this card, but I will point out that I have this one in yellow gold for personal expenses and this one in rose gold for my business expenses, and that just helps me not mix up the 2 cards, and it also just looks really cool. But last but not least, and the newest addition to my wallet this year, and the card that I have recently been using more often than any other product, is the new American Express Blue Cash Preferred card. Since it comes in at just $95 per year, but gives me 6% cash back at US supermarkets and streaming services, plus 3% back at gas stations, and 1% on everything else. Plus, it gave me a $250 bonus after I spent $3,000 in the first 6 months. And even though that $95 annual fee is already super easy for my wife and I to justify, your first year's annual fee is currently waived as well. So in my opinion, this card again falls into that no-brainer category, and that's why I feel it is one of the best credit cards across the board right now. Now, I should note that the 6% on groceries is capped at $6,000 in purchases per year, which is significantly lower than something like the Gold card, which gives you 4 points per dollar at US supermarkets, up to $25,000 in purchases each year. But for right now, it's just my wife and I, and our monthly grocery budget is $500, which works out to exactly $6,000 per year. So for now, this card is the perfect one for us. So there you have it. Those are the 7 cards that I use every single day, and the current setup that I am using the most often is definitely the Blue Cash Preferred, the Gold card, and the Capital One Venture X card, which really cover a majority of my different spending categories. But let me know what you think of my wallet setup for 2023 down in the comment section below, and be sure to check out Sleek to automate your next checkout process. You can watch this video for the top 15 favorite credit cards of mine right now, or this video for a full comparison of the Blue Cash Preferred and Amex Gold cards. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.